With respect to the cost of a new gTLD, there are the initial costs of applying for it, which ICANN now charges $185,000. Seems like a pretty steep investment, but there are a lot of costs on top of that that one applying for a new gTLD needs to take into consideration. And something I've heard said a lot in our community is, new gTLDs are not for the faint of heart. If you think that $185,000 is a lot of money to apply, really the costs of keeping a domain name space running in perpetuity, forever, so that you can service your end users is a lot higher. You have costs that are involved in selecting, if you're not going to do it yourself, selecting a back-end technical operator to operate the registry system. You have marketing costs, you have legal costs in order to understand the policies around new gTLDs. You have costs that are related to satisfying your reseller channel to make sure that they carry your domain name space. Once new gTLDs are launched, you're no longer going to have 10 names that are advertised on a website like GoDaddy or Network Solutions. You are going to have hundreds, if not thousands, of names that are going to be advertised. So you're going to have costs in convincing your channel that your name should be carried, and not just carried, but as close to the top of the list. If when someone's registering a domain name, if you want them to register your name, you're not going to want a registrar to have a drop-down menu of 500 names, and then you appear number 400. Nobody's going to ever see your name. You want them on top. And there's going to be those costs in order to convince those resellers and registrars to carry your name. There's also costs in, if you want to do the operations yourself, or if you're selecting a technical back-end operator, you have costs not just in providing what you would think of as the basic elements of a registry, namely providing a registration system where registrars, who are also resellers of your service, go in and register names, but you have to have a service called Whois, which is a service where end users can, or the community at large, can look up contact information about the domain names that are in your TLD. But you also have the most important element of a registry, which is DNS resolution. That's so people can actually reach your site after you register it and have content. You have DNSSEC, which is a security protocol that needs to be implemented to make sure that when users type your name, they're actually getting to you, and their traffic is not being hijacked by someone in the middle. And so once you have those basic elements, you also need to consider elements such as reporting. If you're going to run a TLD, you're going to want your back-end provider giving you all the necessary reports from a financial standpoint, from a technical standpoint, from a customer support standpoint. You're really going to want to know what's going on in your TLD.